Well, good morning. We got like 2.5 inches of snow, probably 3 in some places, and the wind blew all last night, and the wind's gonna blow all day today, and it's supposed to snow till like 11 o'clock this morning, then it's gonna stop. So I got the Bobcat started. We're gonna let that warm up for a while, then we'll get to pushing some snow and get to feeding some stuff and make sure everything's taken care of for the day. So all the cattle they're all behind the windbreaks in the feedlots this morning, but a couple of them are starting to filter out. They know it's time to get fed. Dad just hopped in the Bobcat, so we're gonna get to feeding. I'm gonna grab some grain, get over there and wait for Dad to feed the ground hay, and then I'll feed the grain. I'll probably go check waters and stuff. It's like 15 degrees this morning is what my pickup says, and that's the coldest it's been for a while. So it's a little different, but I know it's not as sure ain't as cold as what other people are probably dealing with this morning, or just other weather, other times in general. So for March, this is, I mean, it's cold, but it ain't terrible. But we're thankful for the moisture. This stuff melts, it'll go right in the ground, I think, because we have no frost. It just hasn't been cold enough for any frost. So yeah, it should just melt and all go right to the ground, which is good, because we had some green grass starting just because it's been 50 degrees every day, so there's little bits of green grass growing. But this will really help things out. We've been really dry for the last month and a half, so it's good to finally see some moisture falling from the sky, and hopefully giving some grass and alfalfa and all that stuff. Hopefully it'll give that stuff a good head start for the spring, and we can have some green grass in the spring. So hopefully we keep getting some moisture, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So how we kind of take care of cattle in cold, snowy weather like this is basically a cow's body is its warmest when it's digesting. So in order to digest, it's got to eat. So on these colder days, we'll actually feed these feedlot pens more than what we usually would, just to keep those cows up there eating, to make sure they have plenty of food to eat. And we'll just make sure throughout the day we'll come down here, push them to eat if we have to, but most of the time they're pretty good about staying at the feed bunks and eating it, as long as we give them some extra, so they've got extra incentive just to keep eating throughout the day, because the more they eat, the warmer they'll be. So that's kind of how we take care of these cattle. Cattle are very resilient animals. They're meant to be in this kind of weather. They've got a fur coat, you know, they've got hide on them, and it's thick hide, and they'll be just fine. You know, they've made it through worse before. They're acclimated to this kind of weather. So, but yeah, that's the key in this cold weather, is just to feed them extra and make sure they're eating, because that's what warms them up. Some of them heifer calves are up in the windbreak, while some were up feeding about half, and some were up eating about half and half. So I pushed them out down here to the feed bunks so that they would come and eat with the other ones, and in turn they'd get warm. I was going to get my baby pigs on March 20th, but they got born later than what the person expected that I'm getting them from. So if I would have got them on March 20th, they would have only been like 3 weeks old. So I am very, very glad I didn't go get them on March 20th, because that was 5 days ago. So I would have been up all night worrying and not sleeping, thinking about 3-week-old baby pigs out in this weather. That wouldn't be very fun. So I'm glad we pushed it back. I'm actually going down to get them April 6th. So then I'll have some baby pigs. They should be about 5 to 6 weeks old around then, which I can deal with that. They'll probably be all right. But man, 3 weeks old really kind of scared me, so I decided to push it back a little further. But so Dad and I are in the shop. We're working on a way of rigging up this bumper pull hitch to fit on this pickup. This came off my pickup, and the frame on my pickup is wider than the frame on this pickup, so we can't just bolt it through the frame. So we're running channel iron here, and we can put 3 bolts through that channel iron. And then we're going to weld that channel iron to this angle iron here, and then we'll be able to weld the hitch to the angle iron. So it'll all be one piece. The channel iron, the hitch, channel iron, the angle iron, and the hitch will all be one piece welded together, but it won't be welded to the frame. It'll just be bolted with 3 bolts on each side, so we can just take the bolts off and pull it off if we wanted to. So that's what Dad and I are working on today, is getting this rigged up, so then we can take some measurements, get some final measurements for how we want to do the angle iron skirting on the back of this flatbed, because we know we want it to go further down than the 8 inches that we did on the side. So it'll start at 8 inches here, and it'll go down wider as we go towards the middle. So, but in order to get those measurements and figure that out, we got to get this hitch put on, so we have something to measure down to know how far we can come down. 3/4 right there. I was probably still an inch. There I'm probably, I'm an inch or so right there probably. Okay, let's go like right there. Everything about it. Get it close. We'll try to tap it one more. That's true. Okay, so we got this welded up and fabricated. Maybe this kind of makes a little more sense than what I was explaining earlier, but we got this 4-inch channel iron coming down. We got 3 bolts we can put in it, and we welded this angle iron to it. So basically this is how it mounts the frame, is these 3 bolts on each side. Then this angle iron welded going across. And the reason we had to do that is because the mounting on this hitch is wider than the frame of this pickup. So we had to have something that sticks out past the frame so that we can mount this to this angle iron now. So we decided, after some measuring and stuff, we decided we're gonna have to chop this off right here where this opens. We'll chop it square there and then weld it to this angle iron. And the reason we have to chop it off is because if we leave it the full length, it'll hit these spring shackles or whatever, the mounting for the leaf springs. So we have to cut it off, otherwise it'll hit that. So we're gonna go ahead and cut these, then get it up here, get it centered, get the hitch centered, and then we'll weld that hitch to this. We're gonna leave this face, this top face, we're gonna leave it like a 1/4 inch past the end of this angle iron so we can weld that face, and then we can weld the 2 sides onto this bottom of this angle iron here. So that's our plan. We're gonna get working on it. So then once we get that mounted on there, then we can get some measurements for how we want to do the diamond plate skirting on the back of the flatbed. Yeah. Will this jack take it high enough? Yeah. Channel in. Okay, so Dad and I got some progress made on the flatbed today. We got it all jacked up on blocks so that we could do this diamond plate back here. We got the center piece on, and we've got both the side pieces cut and ready to go on, but before we do those, we want to figure out where we're going to put the lights and cut out the holes for the lights before it gets on here. It'll probably just be easier to do it now. So we're going to get that figured out and then get this diamond plate welded on. We finished this, so we got it bolted on and it's good to go. So that diamond plate, we cut it so that it'll come down about to the top of this. So you know, this is where it is square, so it'll be square right at the top of this all the way across. And then of course right at the corner of the frame of the pickup is where it'll start its angle up to the 8 inches on the side over here. But so we got this mounted and we got those cut and stuff. So now we just got a bunch of welding to do and a bunch of cutting for them lights and stuff, but we got a lot of the tedious things done today that kind of take a lot of time and thinking. So now we're kind of ready to hopefully move along fairly quick in the next couple days and hopefully get some stuff done, and then pretty soon we'll be wiring it and throwing it on and be done with this project. But I think that's just about gonna do it for this video. So thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. We hope to see you next time. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Every subscriber helps, and every view helps. So but anyway, with that, as always, we'll catch you in the next one.